Nintendo GameCube Online is off to a fast start, boasting 4 incredible games, including The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and most recently, Super Mario Strikers. But as we know, a lot of games are coming soon, like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Colosseum, Super Mario Sunshine, etc. But I wanted to make my own personal list of GameCube games that I myself wanted to see on Nintendo Switch Online. In no particular order, starting off with a banger, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is literally one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. It originally released on the Sega Dreamcast. Sonic Adventure 2 is the sequel to Sonic Adventure. The game's story follows the birth of everyone's favorite black hedgehog, Shadow. You play through the hero story as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in 3 types of gameplay: running for Sonic, mech for Tails, and treasure hunting for Knuckles. Once you beat the whole hero story, you do just about the same thing, but in the perspective of the dark side as Shadow, Eggman, and Rouge. After beating both hero and dark stages, you unlock the final, last stage, whereas you play as all 6 of those characters fighting to stop the end of the world. Yeah, go play it for yourself and see why I think it's a top 5 game of all time. But wait, did I mention Chow Garden? This may just be nostalgia, but Mario Kart Double Dash is one of my favorite Mario Karts of all time. The course selection is peak. Literally, you cannot go wrong with anything. It's almost like nostalgia like Gen 4 Pokemon is. No Pokemon in Gen 4 is a bad Pokemon to me. No course in Mario Kart Double Dash is a bad course. I always love the idea of having 2 players on one single kart, making split screen multiplayer just that much better. And don't get me started on the battle mode. Literally the best battle mode in any Mario Kart, hands down. Before I say this one, I'm going to remind everybody that this is my personal list and there are some weird and wacky games on it, but this next one is Zoid's Battle Legend. If you've never heard of it, I don't suppose many people have heard of it, but now, Mario Kart Double Dash could have been a nostalgia trip for me just because I played it so much as a kid, but this game is definitely just a nostalgia trip. Zoid's Battle Legends, I don't know how, when we found this game as children, but oh my goodness, did we put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to it? Yes, me and my brother played the crap out of this story mode over and over and over again. There's also a split screen multiplayer game mode where you literally just battle each other the whole time in these big cities and these vast deserts. There's crazy maps, just a dang good time. This very game is what inspired our Zoid making journey to begin with. I can remember at the ripe age of 7 years old going on eBay for the first time, buying my first ever online purchase, and it was a Zoid. It was a kit of 4 little kids Zoids, and they were fantastic. Having not played this game since those many years ago, it would just be a joy and a delight to see any recognition of it in general, but the fact that I would be able to play it on my brand new Switch 2 in 2025 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 30, I don't care. If I see it, I will just be flabbergasted. The next one I have is Sonic Gems Collection. This collection literally on the back says a treasure chest of rare games, which I'm just realizing now 20 years later, a treasure chest is why it's called Gems Collection. This collection, let me tell you, it has 3 of my favorite Sonic games of all time. Sonic CD with the introduction of Metal Sonic. They literally call it Sonic CD, face off against the evil Metal Sonic in this rare Sonic action game. It has great descriptions for all of these. The next one is Sonic the Fighters. Originally a huge box arcade machine fighting game. The description on this one is the cult classic arcade 3D fighting game finally comes to console. And then last but certainly not least, the third game in this 3-game gem collection is Sonic R. You may have no idea what game I'm talking about, but if you hear this track, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, the description for this one says, speed demons and blistering circuits make this one of the craziest races ever. I think when it says crazy, it means crazy bad graphics, but It's a Sonic game, and as we know, the worse the Sonic game is, the better the Sonic game is. Sonic R originally released on the Sega Saturn and on like Windows XP or 98 or something. I don't even know. Windows back in the day, all right? So obviously it had terrible and crap graphics, as I was saying. I mean, just look at it. It's terrible. The steering is non-existent. You can't do a single thing. Jumping is delayed by 10 seconds. But who cares, because you're listening to this amazing soundtrack. Top 5 soundtracks in any video game in history. All 3 of these games in the classic Gems collection, Fighter, CD, and Sonic R, are just so nostalgic, and they're all so perfect for their own reasons. I remember playing Sonic R on the Gems collection with my brother just all the time. 100% of the game. I think we only 100%ed it once because it was so dang hard to unlock Metal Sonic and find all of the Chaos Emeralds in every single level. Just incredibly hard, but incredibly satisfying when you finally do it. I barely talked about Sonic the Fighters, but let me just say this one thing. Sonic the Fighters is literally a bunch of Sonic characters, and I think some of them are new to this game, but I don't know if they were in some TV show in the 90s or something. But there's a laundry list of characters, and it's literally you're just in a ring and you are putting the gloves on and you're duking it out. I know Sonic is famous for weird and wacky, but I mean, come on, that's crazy.
Something that I completely forgot about this game has way more titles aside from the cover titles, including Sonic Spinball, Sonic Drift 2, Tails Adventures, and even Vector Man.
You knew it was going to be on here. Super Smash Bros. Melee. I mean, I'm not going to say too much about this. This game literally just speaks for itself. It's Melee. I don't have too many ties to this game. Personally, I like Brawl more, but with that being said, this is an all-time great game. Super Smash Bros. Melee is a cult classic. If you know Nintendo, you know what Melee is, you know? And the fact that we could literally see Melee on the Switch 2 means so much more nowadays because you have online, you have multiple players, you can literally play Melee wherever you go. And if I told you that 20 years ago, you'd think I was crazy. But the fact that we're here now in 2025 and there's a possibility of me walking around with this weird tablet looking thing, handing you a controller and saying, 3-stock me right now, anywhere, is crazy. I didn't preface this beforehand, but my list is going to include lots and lots of Sonic games. I was a Sonic kid growing up. Mario was kind of I was all in on Sonic, and this one is no different. Sonic Heroes. I haven't looked at the back of this game in so long, and oh my goodness, the nostalgia is just beaming off of this. I was just talking about how Sonic games are just weird and wacky and gimmicky. This is another one of those groundbreaking, just super gimmicky games. You literally play as 3 characters at once. A lot of people reckon, myself included, that this was technically Sonic Adventure 3 because it came out in the Adventure series timeline, whatever, and 3 emphasizing the 3 players you play as the same time. The 3 characters were designated as Speed, Flying, and Power. So let's say you're on Team Sonic. Sonic is obviously Speed, Tails is Flying, and Knuckles is Power. Each one does certain moves to progress you throughout that level. But like Sonic Adventure 2, there are multiple storylines and multiple teams to progress through the same story. All from different perspectives. You have Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Chaotic, and Team Rose. As a kid, I played through all 4 of these pretty, I want to say easily, but I don't remember what happened when I was a child. Apparently what we didn't know back then that we know now was Team Sonic was technically the game on normal mode, Team Dark was hard mode, Team Rose was easy mode, and Team Chaotic was a challenge mode. Team Chaotic would go through the level and find 10 Chow or collect 50 crabs or 200 rings, however fast you could do that, blah, blah, blah. It was that kind of a challenge mode. Throughout the games, you could get bonus stages to collect Chaos Emeralds. There's a 2-player multiplayer split screen where you did bonus levels like that, plus regular levels. All 4 of these team stories coincide together, and each team meets the other 3 teams at some point in the storyline. After you beat all 4 main storylines, you unlocked yet another secret last stage, where all 4 teams, all 12 characters are played to beat Metal Overlord. And if you haven't played it, if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, is it the most end climax cinema you've ever seen in your life. This game came out in 2003? Yeah, and it's still one of the greatest endings of any game ever. It's not in like my top 5, top 10 or whatever, but it's such an amazing ending to a game that, because you have to put in so many hours to complete all 4 of these storylines. Just an insane ending and totally worth it to see it through the end. The next weird and wacky game I have is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's so many TMNT games that were released on the GameCube back in the day, but this one specifically with the orange and yellow cover was my game. This one is definitely my favorite on the GameCube. It's a hack and slash, beat 'em up style game where you literally just roam the city and just fight bad guys, fight thugs, fight the Foot Clan. You're just fighting everything. Now, I haven't played this game in a very long time. This is why I really want it on the Switch. I'm pretty sure before each level, you get to pick which turtle you want to be, and I'm pretty sure you get another one as a computer, or player 2 could pick the other one and you could just co-op throughout the whole level and throughout the whole game. I always like playing as Leonardo just because he had the swords. This game has so much content but also so little content, because back in the day you just made a couple voiceover options and just slapped them on there, so it repeated so many things all the time, and one of my favorites was Slice and Dice. So I guess this really isn't a hack and slash game, more of a... Ultimately, this game reminds me of that one Regular Show episode where they're trying to beat this game and they're fighting to get to the last boss, which is almost like a mythical thing, like, oh, no one reaches the last boss, and if you do, there's no way you're gonna beat it. It was kind of like that, because I don't know how the progression worked, I don't remember, but for some reason you had to start from the beginning all the time. But getting all the way to the Shredder final boss was just amazing to think about, but to actually do it and to actually win, it didn't happen. So when you did it, the joyous feelings envelop your whole mind and body and whatever the heck, and the yin and yang, get it because it's Ninja Turtles and whatever. It was just such an amazing feeling being able to beat this game back in the day. I would love to do it again, but just like Zoids, I haven't played it since then in 15-20 years, so it'd just be an absolute joy to play it again.
You better play this game, man.
This is another obvious one for many people and for many reasons. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, specifically the GameCube. The Wii one had those dang motion controls. Let's just talk about the GameCube one. After all, this is GameCube Online, not Wii Online, but we might talk about that later. Twilight Princess is actually the one and only game on this list that I have not played. Now, don't burn me in the comments. I am very new to Zelda in the last 2-ish years. The only game I've beaten is Breath of the Wild, but I love the Zelda franchise so much. I don't know why, I don't know how, because I've only beaten one of them, but oh my goodness. Just everything about the Zelda franchise I absolutely adore, and I don't know why. Don't ask me, because I really don't like that kind of style and era. I don't like medieval knights and princesses, and I don't like that kind of style and IP, but for some reason Zelda is so OP. It's so good. I don't know, Twilight Princess just looks like such a blast of a game to play, and I don't know why, but it's my favorite art style of Zelda, because there's so many different ones, but I think this one's my favorite because when you played as Link in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, this is what he looked like. He looked like he was from the Twilight Princess games, and it just looked so clean and so good. It's just my favorite art style of any Zelda game. The story looks good, and the dungeon seems super fun for a 20-year-old game even today. Either way, I just love to play this game at all, but if it came on the Switch 2, it would be even more incentive to do so, especially if they upgrade the visuals in any kind of way. I would love to play it docked on my TV. That would just look so good in my opinion. Out of all the games on this list, this one might be the most weird and wacky and most far-fetched, and probably will never see the light of day, especially on NSO GameCube. But it is Beyblade V-Force Super Tournament Battle. Such a long name, but such a good game. If you've never played this, please right now go buy a GameCube or a Wii, go buy this game on eBay. It can't be that expensive. There is no way this is nostalgia talking, because I have played this game a little bit throughout the years, and oh my goodness, it just is so good. It's like a diamond in the rough that no one ever talks about. I still watch videos to this day about this game. It is just so good. It is copy and paste the whole game through, but oh my goodness, the customization. You got to customize your Bit Beast, customize your whole Beyblade entirely. The whole storyline is you just playing through a whole tournament with like 20 something characters. It's so dang good, and the 2-player split screen, non-stop fun, and it will never, ever, ever, ever get old. In some ways, this is kind of like a Pokemon game, where right when the game opens up, you choose your gender, you say your name, you get your starter Beyblade and Bit Beast, and you level up and you progress throughout the whole tournament, and you just create this perfect Beyblade that you battle with every single time. And the more I talk about it, the more I think it's more so like a Pokemon game. It's just so nice. Aside from the gameplay alone, it had one of the best announcers or narrators in any game. Maybe it's just nostalgia talking for this specific thing. So many catchphrases, literally everything he said, I still say to this day because it's so iconic.
All right!
It's so funny or just so out there.
The barrier fence is down!
Spoiler alert, but the fact that you play against DJ, the announcer and narrator, for your final battle in the tournament is just so iconic. You've been battling with this guy this whole time, and for the final battle to be against him is just wild. What a good ending. Back to the Sonic games we go for our last game in this 10 games I want to see on NSO, Sonic Riders. Now, I haven't played this game, again, in just so many years, but it's so iconic. It was the first in its series. There's 3 Sonic Riders games, one for the GameCube, one for the Wii, and then one for the Xbox 360 Connect. So it's really crazy that there's only 3 games, and they span across 3 generations of consoles. Sonic Riders was really one of those, like, what were they thinking kind of games. But when it finally came out and you played it, you were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for making this game. The questions were always, Sonic is already so fast, why would you put him on a powerful skateboard? 'Cause it's cool! I mean, look at this intro, look at the art style, listen to the music, it's just, oh. Sonic Riders, man. Out of the 3 Sonic Riders games, this one's definitely my favorite. Just the introduction to Jet the Hawk. It's just such a good storyline with Sonic and Jet just beefing the whole time, trying to one-up each other the whole time. It's just such a good story. Sonic Riders is definitely no Mario Kart, but I would even say these games aren't even in the same genre. I mean, the movement, the courses, the story. It was also new and fresh and just something that we didn't know we needed until we got home with it and put it in our GameCubes and was like, my eyes are opened. It was just one of those games that, like I said, you never knew you needed until you had it. And I feel like we just don't get games like that these days. Everything is cookie cutter. Everything is, hey, this worked for us last time, let's just do it again, but add microtransactions and everyone's going to eat it up. I know what you're thinking, and I'm not going to make a GameCube game video without naming one game. Kirby freaking Air Ride. I mean, when you talk about iconic, you can't get much more iconic than Kirby Air Ride on the Nintendo GameCube. This is not part of my top 10. This is an honorable mention. The only reason it is not in my top 10 is because it's kind of boring. If you play this game by yourself, you are not going to have a fun time. You will not play it past 10 minutes unless you are committed. This game would be in my top 3 for one reason. If online play is added to this game, it will bounce right back and be one of the greatest games of all time yet again. But they've added online into some of these GameCube games, and as of right now, we're only 2 months into the Switch 2 lifetime. As of right now, online play with GameCube games isn't the best. It's a little late, it's a little patchy, it's just not there yet to compete with other players on an online platform. If they fix that, if they add the game in the first place, but if they fix online and add online to this specific game, then yes, it will be in my top 3 GameCube games on Nintendo Switch 2 online. So what did you think of my list? I hope I made you think of certain games that you would like to see, or if games you haven't played in 10, 20 years since the GameCube came out originally. Let me know in the comments what games you would like to see on Nintendo Switch 2 online GameCube.